Great to see you. How you doing? Hope you had a great winter, and look forward to the season. I'm just gonna jump right in and just ask the obvious. Losing Arenado was a big blow, obviously. As a pitcher, how do you overcome? How do you not let that affect your psyche? You know, he was a vacuum over there and such a big part of that team.
Yeah, I mean, Nolan's a great player, high caliber. We're gonna miss him, but at the same time, it takes 9 guys to win a baseball game, and we got guys ready to step up and fill those shoes and take care of business over there on the hot corner.
As a follow up, how do you feel going in? What changes off season for you? What did you do differently?
Not many changes in my offseason. Just continue to refine my delivery, work on my pitch mix. Tweak some things with my pitches. Other than that, it was just building that platform of getting stronger and getting that stamina for a nice long season.
Thomas Harding, Rockies.com. Go ahead, Thomas.
Things have kind of changed. I know there were a couple years in there where you guys were going to the postseason, and there was that expectation from the outside. People are really kind of down on the Rockies. How much is that a motivating factor for you, and especially the pitching staff?
I mean, I think it should be our sole motivating factor right there. Is people we haven't even played a spring training game. It's day one of pitchers and catchers, and people are already counting us out. That's kind of way that's kind of the position I like to be in. Being an underdog, being someone who the general public thinks is not going to perform at all. So I think as a whole team, we're using that as a chip on our shoulder to push us through this season and shock the world and prove the doubters wrong.
You are kind of an adrenaline guy. You like to get motivation from all kind of things. You pitched so well last season. Last start in Arizona, I just remember kind of seeing in your face like, I can't go out like this, but yet you had to go through a winter. Did you use that some as motivation just on those workouts in off season?
Yeah, I mean, that last start, obviously, no one wanted to end their season on that. I mean, it just plain old sucked. But yeah, I've definitely thought about it, throughout the offseason of, that bad taste in my mouth and, wanting to get back out there and, get back to competing, with the guys on the field, against another team and, get back to success.
And what's next for you? You added that changeup in there last year. You're able to open up the other side of the plate, but what's the next step? What do you need to do to get to be the all-star type pitcher you have? And if you guys can indulge me on one more after this.
Consistency. Every 5 days going out there, being consistent, keeping runners off the base paths, keeping numbers down, keeping runs off the scoreboard, allowing my defense to work quickly so we can get back in and hit and score some runs. But for me, it's just that consistent factor, making sure every 5 days I'm going out, getting as deep into ball games as I possibly can, and leaving my team with a chance to win.
And the last one, German Marquez, he started opening day last year and really pitched well throughout the season. Can you describe what he is like off the field, how he maybe helps you and the other pitchers, or his role within that group of pitchers?
Yeah, he's loose. Off the field when he's not pitching in the dugout, he's loose. He's always looking to have fun, joke around, enjoy being around the guys and enjoy being around the game. You can see it in his eyes. He's always been like that, even in the minor leagues when we were coming up together. He's a great asset for us. He's a great friend, great teammate, and I can learn a ton from him, just as he can learn a lot from me.
Thank you very much.
Patrick Saunders, Denver Post. Patrick, go ahead.
Hey Kyle, nice to see you. Hope you had a good winter. There's been a lot of talk and expectations about this rotation going forward and how good it can be. From your perspective, how good can it be?
It's I think we can be extremely good. You look at the guys that we have, myself, Marquez, Senzatella, Johnny, and we got guys chomping at the bit for that 5th spot. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what we can do because the pieces are there. and it all falls on us now to execute every 5 days and show that consistency, like I was talking about, leaving our team with a chance to win every single night, no matter who we're playing, whether it's Miami or if we're playing the Dodgers. It doesn't matter. We have to be able to go out and show that we can be consistent, and if we can show that we can be consistent, those are usually going to turn into wins.
Second question for me, Austin Dahmer. We just talked to him. He's excited. He wants to be that fifth starter. Your fellow lefties, I assume you guys will share notes, and if so, what are some of the things you want to convey to him about life pitching at altitude?
Yeah, so I've actually, over the past, week or so, since he's, been traded over here, I've actually been talking to him quite a bit. I've been throwing with him quite a bit. We've been picking each other's brains, about, our organization, the Cardinals organization, pitching in Coors, pitching at altitude, stuff like that. He's been asked a lot of great questions that, thankfully I'm able to have the answers for him about that. But it's been great so far. He seems very excited. He's one of those guys chomping at the bit for that fifth spot. And being a fellow lefty, I think that's going to help us out a lot.
Real quickly, can you share maybe one thing that you told him that you learned? I mean, you grew up in Colorado, but that you've learned that he needs to find out about staying healthy, pitching it out?
I mean, I think he knows, kind of the obvious of, best thing to do in Coors Field is keep that ball on the ground as much as you can. Try and avoid them putting it in the air.
Great. Thanks, Kyle.
Nick Groke, The Athletic. Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, hey Kyle, you just touched on this just a little bit, but a couple of years, it wasn't that long ago, just a couple of years, the rotation was really young. You guys were really inexperienced, and you really carried the team to the playoffs twice. Now a couple of years later, you guys are sort of more the core of the team, like you're established, and a lot of the core players are now gone, and it's now the rotation that's the thing that carries over. Does it feel like you guys are having to carry maybe a bigger burden, bigger load with this team?
I think we need to recognize that we are that core, and become leaders together, and show these younger pitchers or younger position players what we want to do, how we should be going about our business day in, day out, and that we're out here to compete and win ball games every single night. And we have the guys to do that. We're mature now. We've been in the league for quite some time now, so I think we're, as a group, able to teach these guys how to properly move forward and be leaders in the clubhouse and show them what it takes to be consistent and win consistently.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times, I guess, with this team in its history, but not to this extent. But what is it like now that the starting rotation, the pitchers are what the Rockies are falling behind? I mean, obviously you grew up in Colorado, so you know what the Rockies have been like in their history.
Yeah, I mean, we're all homegrown, so I mean we've been through the ranks together. We understand each other. We've known each other for a long time, not just in the big leagues. But again, it doesn't all fall on us. I understand where you're coming from. Where us four guys, we're older. We're starting to become veterans. We've been together for quite some time, but it takes every single guy on that active roster to do so, to be a leader, whether you're a rookie or whether you're a 10-year veteran. It doesn't matter. We got Story, who's a great leader. We got Mac and Hamper chomping at the bit to be leaders as well, and they're showing their stuff. We got a lot of guys who are wanting to step up and be a big part of this team and lead in many different ways.
Cool, thanks, dude.
Alex, I think we have two more left. Tracy Ringlesby, go ahead.
Well, Kyle, in talking to scouts, they said that in watching you guys pitch, that the big four in the rotation, it's almost like you guys have a chip on your shoulder to want to show people that you can pitch at Coors Field, and that Coors Field isn't the disaster. I know you've talked about it. Do you feel the other three guys are developing that same mentality?
Yeah. it's one of those things that it's going to be in baseball forever. You know, pitching in Coors is a nightmare, or it's a death sentence, or whatever. But I think that's a great opportunity for pitchers like myself, Marquez, Senza, Johnny, all those other guys to step up and prove those people wrong. Whether it's for a year, whether it's for multiple seasons. I think it's a great opportunity for us to really show that you can pitch at this altitude, and we've done it. Like you said, I've been able to do it. Marky's done it. Senza's done it. Johnny's done it. We've all done it. It goes back to that consistency that I've been talking about. Being consistent at that altitude and really showing people that it can be done.
Kind of following up on that, Pedro Stasny used to always say the most important thing about pitching at Coors Field is the next hitter. To not worry about what happened previously, to get the next hitter out.
Yeah.
Is that a proper mindset?
Yeah, I feel like that's a good mindset. I mean, it's not quite my mindset. My mindset is, get that guy out any way you can. Obviously, if he doesn't, then things change. Where especially for me, if a guy gets on first base, I'm looking to get that ground ball double play, and I'm gonna pitch to that because that's kind of been my MO. That's something that I feel comfortable with, that I'm good at executing as well. I guess that kind of does fall into that category of the next hitter, being able to get 2 for 1 out.
Because I think his thing is you can't do anything about the previous hitter. He's already gone.
Yeah. That's a good mindset for pitching wherever. If someone hits a bloop single off you just got to wash it off and move on to the next guy.
Thank you.
I'll go to Owen Perkins for the last question. Owen, go ahead.
Hey Kyle, good to see you. Got a couple questions if I can, but if the fans are really accustomed to your determination to win and your competitiveness, can you share with them what may not be as clear about the organization's same kind of commitment at getting better on a daily basis and continuing to improve, and how they're what fans can be excited about the team getting better going into the future?
I would tell them focus on the group that we have. We have some incredible players on this team. We may be young, we may not have the superstars that a lot of other teams are stacked up on, but that's a spot that I love to be in. I said last year, I don't mind being a snake in the grass. This is a great opportunity for us to shock the world, and regardless of what's going on in the organization, this active roster that'll be put on the field this year is going to be going out there looking to win ball games consistently.
And then, kind of related, you've talked about the kind of the pride in being a homegrown group. Can you identify a little bit about the strengths that have produced a solid homegrown core? Sometimes our player development system doesn't get the recognition, but just what's the secret to building that strong homegrown core of players?
It definitely does attribute to guys in our system who create that development plan for us to reach our goals of getting to the big leagues, and then beyond that, for us, a lot of us have came through the system together. There's not a whole lot of bits and pieces that are pulled from different areas of the minor league system where we all met in the big leagues. We all came up, from rookie ball all the way through AAA to the big leagues, and having that bond and that trust and that friendship between one another. We've been through the grind together. We understand what it was like with one another. For instance, me, McMahon, Senza, Markey, we were road goats. We were on the road for the entire season in AA, and that was a grind that nobody besides us know of. So that kind of bond that we have been able to create, definitely allows us to trust one another at the big league level.